Hey guys, if this is your first time to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Emily and today we are going to be talking all about the up and coming Sephora VIB sale. If you are not already aware, Sephora rarely does sales. They do sales 2 times a year. They do a sale at the end of November, and I believe that one is 20% off. And they do a sale around the springtime, either in April or May, and that one is usually a little bit less. It's usually 15% off. Now it's getting to be that time of year again, and it looks like the sale is coming back up again. Now for Rouge members, which is the highest standard of the Sephora point system, I believe you have to spend like $1,000 at Sephora in 1 year, and then you become Rouge, which I am Rouge. Embarrassingly. I really wish I wasn't, because that status isn't exactly the best thing in the world. Like maybe for some people, but for me it just proves to me that I just buy a bunch of crap I don't need. But nonetheless, the Rouge event is going to be the first weekend of April. So it is going to be April 13th through April 16th. And you are going to be getting 15% off with the code YAYROUGE in all caps. You can use that code as many times as you want. So my suggestion is go ahead and make multiple purchases because it's free shipping and you can use the coupon on one item. So go ahead and just buy everything you want in different purchases. You'll save money that way. So it looks like they're actually going to be doing 2 sales this year as well, which is what they did in the November sale of 2017, which people were confused about because usually they only do 1 weekend, but it seems like they've been doing 2 weekends now. Maybe they want to boost sales, I don't know, but I'm not complaining because I am so down for having more time to decide what I want to get and what I don't want to get. That FOMO is not going to hit me nearly as hard if I have a little bit more time to decide what I need and what I don't need. But the second weekend for Rouge is still going to be 15% off. It's going to be April 20th through April 23rd with the code YAYROUGE. And it looks like on April 13th, you can actually bring one of your friends into Sephora with you and they can get your Rouge discount too, which is awesome and very generous. I like that idea a lot, and I don't know why more companies don't do that, because then it boosts their sales and then you get discounts and then your friends get discounts too. For the VIB sale this year, which is just a step below Rouge, just means that you haven't spent as much money as the Rouge people have spent in a year in Sephora. They are going to be getting 15% off, and that is going to be on April 20th through April 23rd. You can use the code YAYVIB and you will get the 15% off. Last sale is the Beauty Insider sale, and if you are not already aware, Beauty Insider is the very bottom level of the point system, meaning that you use the points and you do rack up some points, but you're not buying everything in sight like us Rouge people are. That is going to be 10% off, and it is going to be April 20th through April 23rd, and you can use the code YAYINSIDER in all caps. Now these sales everyone goes crazy over. Everyone makes these types of videos where they recommend things to get and recommend things to stay away from, and I wanted to join that train because I think these can be super helpful, and I definitely look towards people that I trust during this time of year when the sale is happening, because you really want to take advantage of the percentage off, because Sephora does not do sales. That's kind of their thing. They are just not about the sales. So when these sales do come up and do happen twice a year, everyone jumps on board and buys everything that is expensive and everything that they need to stock up on, because you do get that discounted price that you wouldn't normally get throughout the year. So I went ahead and put together some recommendations for you guys, things that I think would be a good buy and things that I know a lot of people like that I think would be a decent thing to get with the discount. Now the first thing that I'm going to recommend is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed. Everyone and their mom always recommends this, and it's for a good reason. These are really nice highlighters, and they're pretty damn expensive when you're not getting a discount on them. They are usually $38, and with the sale price of 15%, if you are a Rouge or a VIB Insider, you are going to actually only be spending about $33 and change. So you do save about $5 with the discount, which, I mean, $5 isn't huge, but it's better than nothing, and it is a discounted price, so you are saving some money. My personal favorite shades of the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfectors in the pressed version are Champagne Pop, and I've also been looking at Prismatic Amethyst or Rose Quartz. Those look absolutely stunning, And if I were to buy one, I would probably get Rose Quartz, but to me, those three are the most interesting and the most unique shades out of the bunch. And I feel like if you're going to get a highlight that's that expensive, you might as well just get something really unique and something that will stand out in your collection. The second item that I am going to be recommending for the VIB sale this year is the Clinique Cheek Pops. These usually retail for $23, and with the sale, they are going to be retailing for $20. You are going to be saving $3, which isn't bad. My shades that I like personally, my favorite shades from the bunch are Peach Pop and Ginger Pop. They are very almost sheer blushes, but they build up really, really beautifully on the skin. They have a very dewy and naturally flushed look to the skin. They're really, really beautiful, really, really smooth, and they're not very expensive to begin with, but with the discount, they're even cheaper. So I definitely recommend the Clinique Cheek Pops. Next item that I'm going to be recommending to you guys is from The Ordinary, and it is the 100% pressed organic rosehip seed oil. That is so much to say at once, but this usually retails for $9.80, which is already cheap. And with the discount, it is going to be $7 and change. So I think that's a really good deal. This rosehip seed oil is really, really nice. It moisturizes the skin really well. It seems to sink into the skin nicely, and the skin seems to be able to actually absorb a lot of things from it, because when I use it, my skin feels really, really soft, and it looks a lot more hydrated and a lot less flaky, because I get very, very flaky skin, if you cannot already tell by my frosted flake nose over here. I get really flaky skin, and this definitely helps with the flakiness and the loss of hydration. I think this is a really nice product for the initial price of $9.80. I would pay that any day, but if you can get a discount on it, it's even better. So go ahead and pick that up if you haven't tried it already, because it's a really, really nice product, and I definitely recommend it. The next item that I have to recommend for you guys is the Viseart palettes. They are usually $80, but with the sale, they're going to be coming down to $68. That is a really good price for Viseart. They are really high quality shadows. Now, if we're talking about the Petite Pro ones, we're talking about a totally different formula, because those are not nearly as good as the original palettes. But the original palettes are usually $80, and that's very, very expensive. And I feel like that's just a lot of money. I mean, who wants to spend $80 on an eyeshadow palette, especially when the packaging is very cheap? Now, the packaging is very cheap for a reason, because it's meant for makeup artists. So it is a see-through, plastic, easy to open, easy to close, easy to access packaging that you can just see in your makeup kit and grab it and not have to worry about opening a bunch of different palettes. It was made for makeup artists. So of course, the normal consumer is going to complain about that type of packaging because we don't understand it. We want something flashy and beautiful and luxury, but for a makeup artist, they want something easy and accessible. So it makes sense why the packaging's like that, but that's a really big gripe that I hear a lot of people talk about, is the crappy packaging. So people don't want to shell out $80 for something that doesn't look like it has a nice luxury weight to it and doesn't look luxe. I think that having this discount is a really nice option. The palettes that I would recommend are the Editorial Brights or the Dark Matte. Those are the most unique in the collection to me. And for me personally, I would get so much use out of both of those. One's a little bit brighter and one's a little bit more dark and vampy and sultry. And I think that they're both really unique palettes. And that's kind of my thing with the VIB sales. I try to buy stuff that I don't already have in my collection, because if I'm going to go out and buy something really expensive and, you know, use the discount, I want to get something that's unique and something that I'm going to remember, and something that I'm going to see and just, you know, be excited about. Not something that's going to just sit in the back of my drawer and be overlooked by every new item that gets released every single week. You know what I mean? The next item that I'm going to be recommending to you guys are the Pat McGrath Mothership Subversive palettes. These are the little baby ones that were just released recently. They are $55, but with the sale, they are going to be $47 and change. I think that's a pretty good discount. You know, Pat McGrath is a very high luxury brand, and I doubt you're going to get discounts on her stuff very often. These palettes look absolutely incredible. I've watched reviews on them, and they look like they're just to die for. And I'm going to be completely honest, the La Vie and Rose palette is really calling my name and just drawing me in, but I don't think I'm going to be purchasing it this time just because I don't need it. But if you have been looking at the Pat McGrath, you know, eyeshadows and the formula, and you've been wanting to test everything out, I say go for it. You're going to save some money, and the quality is there. I've seen reviews and everyone seems to say one unanimous thing about it, that these mini palettes really hold up to the Pat McGrath name, and they're really, really high quality and easy to blend and easy to work with. So if you have been keeping your eyeballs out on those Pat McGrath palettes, I say go ahead and jump on it because now is your time. The last item that I'm going to be recommending is actually two different items from the same brand. I am going to be recommending the Kevyn Aucoin Celestial Bronzing Veil, and I'm also going to be recommending the Kevyn Aucoin Pure Powder Glow Blush. Now, the Celestial Bronzing Veil retails for $48, which is expensive, and with the discount, it's going to come down to about $41. So you get a pretty big discount with that guy. For the Pure Powder Glow Blush by Kevyn Aucoin, they typically retail for $37, and with the discount, you are going to be bringing that baby down to $32. So both of those are pretty discounted, and I think that they're both absolutely worth it because the Kevyn Aucoin bronzing powders are my favorite bronzers in the entire planet. I am obsessed with them. I love them. I want every shade. There's only 2 shades, but I want both of them. I have hit major pan on my Celestial Bronzing Veil. I have the one that's in the shade Tropical Nights, which is the deeper shade. It's a little bit more orangey, and it is so perfect for my skin tone. But I have hit so much pan that I am literally scraping the sides of my pan to get the rest of the product out, and I need to make this purchase and get a new one. Now for the blush, I personally love the blush Darlene by the Kevyn Aucoin line. It is such a perfect peachy pink color that gives so much life to your skin, and it looks so natural and beautiful on top of the skin. It doesn't get patchy, it doesn't look overly done. I have a problem with blushes getting really patchy on my skin, and this never does. It blends out perfectly. Doesn't matter what brush you're using, it's just an absolute dream. And I want every single shade in the line, but I'm not going to be purchasing any of the blushes, but I wanted to recommend it because if you've been looking for a good blush, I got you covered. The Kevyn Aucoin Pure Powder Glow blushes are absolutely beautiful, and the Celestial Bronzing Veils are also absolutely perfect. So I definitely recommend looking at those guys. Now I'm going to go ahead and just go over with you guys what I'm going to be purchasing from the sale. Now, like I said, I have my eyeballs on the Pat McGrath palette in La Vie and Rose, and I also have my eye on the Kevyn Aucoin Celestial Bronzing Veil in Tropical Nights. But those are very expensive, and I'm not made of money, so the ones that I am going to be purchasing aren't super interesting. They're more so just me needing to repurchase things that I've been holding off on. But I am going to be getting the Urban Decay De-Slick Setting Spray. This one retails for $32, and with the sale, it's going to go down to $28, and I just need to repurchase this. It's my favorite setting spray. I use it all the time. I am down to the very last drop in the bottle, and I'll take any discount I can get on this because it is expensive. $32 is expensive for a setting spray, but it works like a dream. So I'm going to be picking that guy up. The next one on my list is the Dior Skin Nude Air Luminizer in 001 Nude. Now let's be honest, I'm probably not going to be picking this up, but it's still on my wish list and I still have my eye on it, and if I really feel like treating myself, maybe I will, but I'm probably not. It is $56, and with the sale, it's going to be going down to $48. I want this. It is beautiful. I went out and bought the Wet n Wild Precious Petals highlight that's supposed to be the dupe, and I don't really think that one's that great on my skin particularly. It just didn't look that amazing. And I've seen reviews on the Dior Skin highlighters, and they just seem so beautiful and buttery and silky and glowy, and I'm all here for a pop-in highlight. But I thought that buying the Wet n Wild one would curb my urges to want to buy the Dior one, but it just made me want it more because I'm not super impressed with the Wet n Wild one, and I know that the Dior one, even though they're called dupes, I know the Dior one is a little bit, if not a lot better. So I think I would want to go in stores and swatch this and see for myself before I actually take the plunge and make the purchase. So I think I'm going to do that and see if it's even worth the money, but if it is, I definitely want it at least someday. And the last item that is going to be on my wish list today is the Philosophy Purity Made Simple Pore Extractor Mask. This is $35, and with the sale, you are saving $5, knocking it down to $30. I heard Total Makeup Junkie 101, aka Ashani, talking about this in her most recent favorites, and she said that it's absolutely amazing for drying up oil, getting things out of your pores, and just making your skin look a lot more clear. My skin has been on like a downward spiral over the past couple months. I don't know what the hell it's been doing. It has not been cooperative with me, and I need all the help I can get because I've always had decent skin, and now I'm starting to notice some texture and more clogged pores, and I want to put a stop to this before it turns into something bigger. If Ishani says this works, I trust the girl. She's got a very smart and trustworthy opinion when it comes to makeup and skincare, and she's also an oily skinned girl like me, so I totally trust her, and I'm definitely willing to pick this up if it makes my skin look less dingy and less like it's having a midlife crisis. Well, there you have it, guys. That is going to be wrapping up my VIB recommendations and wish list for the sale this year. I do hope that you found this helpful, and I hope that if you were looking at any of the products I mentioned, that it helped sway you in the direction of picking them up with the discounted price. I am definitely excited, and I'm excited to try some new skincare and some new products. So I'm really happy that they do these sales because damn, Sephora can get expensive. So we need these sales. We need them more often, but I'm very thankful that they do them at least twice a year and that they seem to have been extending the dates on the sales. That is really awesome. I do hope that you consider subscribing. I have all sorts of makeup goodness happening here on this channel, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. I hope that you are having an absolutely amazing day wherever you are, and thank you so much for stopping by. I hope to see you next time. Bye!